Good evening, ladies and gentlemen that are joining us here on JCTV Africa, where we talk about issues that are happening in and around Zimbabwe and the parts of Africa. Today, we are in conversation with Mr. Kennedy Mapesa, or Kennedy Mapesa. He was the former spokesperson for ZANU PF in the South Africa region, but now he's no longer there, but he is still serving under ZANU PF. So today, the topic that we're going to be delving into is what you are seeing here. Is ZANU PF united towards 2033? Is there peace? Is there harmony in the cockpit of ZANU PF? That is the question that I'm going to pose to everyone. But you're also welcome to contribute to this conversation that we're having via WhatsApp voice note. If you have a question to Mr. Mapesa, or you want to say something, you can send up your WhatsApp voice note and then we can read them or we can play them on air and pose that question to Mr. Mapesa. Mr. Mapesa, long time. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you? Good evening.
Good evening. We want to delve into a lot has happened in the past 24 hours, and one would wonder. The question is everything all right between your principals, which are your president, President Idi Mnangagwa, and Vice President Chiwenga? Because the utterances that we've seen are pointing to something else.
Which utterances? The president, the acting president,
yes, the acting
has been doing his duty as assigned by his principal, who is on leave, and whatever he has been doing is as agreed by him and the principal.
Okay, but one would wonder what could be the meaning, because I look at his utterances in one of the address. He spoke about people having ill-gotten wealth, and one would wonder, because the way how he described the people who are taking ill-gotten wealth, that described Wikino Chivayo, because he is one of the people that are distributing wealth, and the statement, you know, they are hidden meanings in any statement, and that statement that is uttered at the National Heroes Acre, are you saying that he does not approve of what the president does not approve of what Wikino Chivayo is doing?
I listened to the speech that was given by the acting president today, and the speech that he gave during the burial of the 3 other heroes last week. And one of the many issues that he has highlighted and consistently is the issue of corruption. And he has been very clear that corruption should be a thing of the past. It must be dealt with decisively. And it is also an issue that the president has spoken against, that corruption should also be dealt with decisively. So the inference by those who are putting names to the speech that the acting president has made today, I think is their own conclusion. What is critical, I think, at this juncture is for us to applaud the acting president for having said unequivocally what is consistent with what the president, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, has also been saying with regards to dealing with corruption. So if there are any people who subscribe to the definitions that people are now giving, I think it is up to them, because we are in a democratic space where people can say whatever they want at any given time. But what I take from from his speech is that corruption should be dealt with decisively, and that is the outcry that we have heard from many people, that corruption should be dealt with decisively. And one hopes that there should be a follow-up to the message to make sure that the corruption is dealt with once and for all.
Right. I hear you, Mr. Mandaza. There, I hear you correctly. But in the past 24 hours, we have seen the war veterans, Mr. Geza and other comrades, they expressed their dissatisfaction on the president and they've cast, what can I say, a vote of no confidence. Doesn't that speak volumes in terms of what is happening in the background? Because they've given a stern warning. You as a cadre, what is the conversation inside ZANU PF towards this? Because to me, it sounds like there is disharmony in the party. Are you at all united towards the Vision 2030 or seeing the president extending his term or the amendment of the constitution? What is the conversation inside the party? Because someone is saying the president must leave, and the other one are saying the president must stay. What is the conversation inside the party?
Unfortunately, I cannot comment on the clip that you are referring to because I've not had the opportunity to watch it. So that, I think, could be part of the discussions that are taking place, which I think it has become topical that many people are talking about the now called resolution number 1 of from the conference last year. But let me take you into the context. To start with, the president, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, he has said that on 3 occasions he is a constitutionalist and he will not seek any extension, or he will not stay longer than the day that he said during one of the interviews that he already knows the day that he is going to leave office. And ever since then, he has not said anything different from those words. And these 3 occasions that we refer to were occasions on which he spoke before the October conference, which took place in Bulawayo. And during the conference, when the resolution was about to be read, the Secretary for Legal Affairs, Comrade Patrick Chinamasa, went through what he said were discussions that he had with the president. And he then said resolution number 1 could only take effect if the president was to accede to the demands or desire of the people. So resolution number 1, as it stands now, can only take effect if the president, who has on 3 occasions said that he is not going to have the constitution tampered with in order to extend his term of office. But ZANU PF is a big organization with people with varied and the views. That is why in the conference that decision was made. It was through the different inputs from various people. And ordinarily, when a resolution is put among the resolutions of the party, what is left is for it to be acted upon. So it is on this basis that the current discussions, it is unconstitutional to discuss this particular issue. But I don't see any reason why people would say it is unconstitutional, whereas people also say that it is their constitutional right to say President Mnangagwa should go. If it is a constitutional right that people can exercise to say President Mnangagwa can go or any president can go, there are others, on the other hand, who can also say President Mnangagwa can stay. And it remains constitutional, those discussions, because of provision within the constitution which allows people to exercise the freedom of speech. And it is this freedom of speech and discussion that people are currently taking place. And at this particular time, there is, for me, from my standpoint, there is nothing unconstitutional to discuss this particular issue. But more importantly, as per your question, is there discord in the party? We can't therefore say if people are engaging on the merits and demerits of this particular resolution, we then conclude that there is discord in the party. It is the robustness that is required in a democratic party to make sure that whatever decision that they come up with at the end of the day is informed by the input of all the people, taking into the weight of the merits and the demerits. What carries the day is the one that would have been accepted or by many people.
All right, Mr. Mandas, I hear you there, but my question still lingers in the sense that not so long ago I was just trying to get the verbatim of what the president said when there was exchange of words between comrade what's his name, from Minister of Youth, Minister Tinoma Chakaire, and Deputy Minister Paraza. When there was exchange of words, the president said that it was not supposed to be so, that if there is disunity in the party, it should not be discussed on a public forum. Now, are you saying that this is part of democracy inside ZANU PF, whereby members of the party are doing press conference? Because one of the people that made a press conference, Mr. Blessing Geza, he is member of the Central Committee. So that speaks volumes that there is something that is not right in the party. Surely you can't ignore it and say this is a democratic view inside ZANU PF.
Like I've already indicated, I cannot comment on the press that you are talking about because I have not been privy to the to what took place during that presser or the contents of the presser. But I will comment on what you have referred to, the so-called discord that could have been between Comrade Paraza and the Secretary for Youth Affairs. I think in any organization, there are structures that are followed, that should be followed in order to air complaints and other things that are supposed to be there. But these issues that are being discussed currently, I don't think that they are issues that have to do with discord within the party. It is an issue that needs everyone else to make an input, so that at the end of the day, if a decision is to be made, that decision is going to be informed by the input that is coming from the generality of the people, who possibly could be represented by various people who then sit down and say, we have heard the views of different people, and this is what we think we should take forward. So if there is any pressure that has taken place, I think I can only comment when I've had the opportunity to do so. But at the moment, from my standpoint, I think people are still exercising their democratic right to discuss an issue that is currently topical in the country and in the party.
All right. There is part of the question that I had asked that you have said that there is these are discussions that are going on. You are in the UK branches. What is the conversation? Are they in all agreement that president must extend? Because we're not talking of something that is not in the public domain. The Herald last week wrote that the provinces are set for the referendum. That means that it's something that is out there, that the referendum is supposed to be held, and they are saying we want to give victory to the president. So the question is, those that are in the UK that are ZANU PF members, what are they saying in the conversation that we are having towards the issue that has been put forward that 2033, the president must be there? Because the people that have been speaking about it at the pre-Cape farm, the president was there with the likes of opposition leaders like Sengezo Chabangu and others, and Dr. Tokozani Kupe. The question is now, what is the conversation inside the party on this issue? Because obviously, when you do meetings, there are some discussions that come. Can you bring us into confidence that is ZANU PF in all agreement of this in the conversations that we are having, whether it be in group forums and all of that?
The mere fact that the resolution number 1 or the resolution number 1 came up during the conference, which was a meeting of representatives from all the provinces of ZANU PF, it means that they are speaking with one voice with regards to that particular proposition. And with reference to where I am at the moment, I can take you into confidence and say that since the conference in October, we have not had an opportunity to meet, because we normally meet quarterly, and we are yet to have our meeting so that we can discuss the resolutions and other things that have emerged since October. So currently, the discussions that have been going on are discussions, as you know, that most of the people tend to be on the X, or formerly Twitter, spaces, discussing various issues of interest in their country. And this particular resolution has been discussed by many people, giving their views. And like I've already indicated, it is a discussion that many people are trying to put their input to, and their input is for and against this particular proposition. And it is on the strength of the information that has been put together that will then inform whether that will inform the decision that is going to carry the day. I'm aware, however, that one of the legislators has indicated that a motion will be put in parliament. I think that is the route of the parliamentarians, who have the obligation to represent their constituencies in accordance to the mandate that they've been given by the people. So what will happen in parliament is the sole responsibility of those that are in parliament, and we would want to believe that those that are in parliament will exercise their responsibilities in accordance to the mandate that they would have received from their people.
All right, we are still in conversation with Mr. Mandaza. Our viewers and listeners that are here on JCTV Africa, we thank you for joining us. We are talking about the issue of 2033. It is a subject that has raised a serious, not just as serious, a sparking debate. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Mandaza is saying that he has not yet watched the presser that was held by some war veterans, which is one of the reasons why we are here. There are so many. We have spoken about this, but we are hoping that all right. Okay. Sorry about that. There was an audio that was coming from the other side. And my apologies to that, viewers and listeners. There was an audio that was coming from the other side. Anyway, so I was saying that we are having this discussion, and we're talking about this that has happened in the past 24 hours, whereby all veterans are saying we are having none of it. Now, I want to come back to you, Mr. Mandaza, that you understand that the Constitution was voted for in a referendum, and it was an overwhelming majority of people who voted for the Constitution. Now, is it right for the discussion that is happening within ZANU PF that you really want to extend the term of office of the president? What is what are the push factors? What are the real reasons that are you causing for you to change the constitution in favor of one man who is President Idi Mnangagwa, when the majority of the people who have voted for this constitution are not the ones that are benefiting? Why are we giving the benefit to one person instead of the majority? Isn't it what we fought for, to say to know that majority rule, to know that inside ZANU PF? What is really causing people to have this mindset of saying, let's allow the president, let's change the constitution in favor of the president? Because even if when he leaves office, this constitution will take time for it to be changed. What are the compelling reasons for people to say, let us have this discussion?
To start with, the ZANU PF believes that the constitution is sacrosanct. And secondly, ZANU PF also believes that the constitution is not cast on stone. It is dynamic. It can be looked at and changed depending on the circumstances. If circumstances that obtained in 2013 have changed and warrant the constitution to be changed at any given time, that change will take place. And the change can only take place in agreement with the people of Zimbabwe. So as we speak right now, we have a proposition that has been put within ZANU PF. This is a proposition that is in ZANU PF, and the people in ZANU PF are discussing that particular issue. It has not as yet come to the point where the constitution has been or is going to be changed. But if at the end of the day, the majority of the people in ZANU PF agree that there is need for that to be put to the parliament for a change to be done, then the others in opposition should also come up with the strong viewpoints and arguments that will carry the day, because this is a democratic society which should allow people to debate and come up with positions that will also carry the day for the generality of the people. And one of the things that have been put across when this proposal was being made was looking at Vision 2030 and saying that given that vision, there is so much that have been taken so far in terms of infrastructural development and other projects that are taking place in the country. Why can't we extend the tenure of the president to at least 2 years, to 2030, so that he can complete the projects that he have been doing? This is the argument that have been advanced by many of those who have come up with this particular proposal. A proposal which emanated from branches, then districts, DCCs, provinces, and finally to the conference. And now it is at a point where people have been getting feedback through the various meetings that have been taking place. And it is from these report back meetings that have been taking place that then if people are in agreement, remember the discussion is in ZANU PF, and the ZANU PF is an organization which has its own rights to decide on what it has to do. And it does not mean that when a decision is made in ZANU PF, there are no people who are opposing it. There are others that are not in favor of it. But at the end of the day, democracy says that the majority carries the day. So if it's this proposition is there because the majority have carried the day, and if it so happens that in the country, if the proposal goes through to parliament and so on to the referendum, if it wins, we'll end up with a change of the constitution. And that process should be done within the confines of the laws of Zimbabwe.
All right, I understand that part, but you remember in 2017, one of the key issues that were there was the fact that the war veterans, some of your comrades, were unhappy with the way how Robert Mugabe was running the country. And one of the key issues was that the fact that it was a mistake on the part of ZANU PF to allow the president to have all those powers. And you are restoring, because remember the change of the constitution to allow 2 terms only was supposed to be applied to the was something that ZANU PF, I mean, agreed with when they were doing that COPAC draft, and it was allowed 2 terms. The president came out and he was asked, "Are you not going to seek another mandate after you're finished?" And he clearly said that he was not interested in that. And now my question to you, Mr. Mandaza, is, you having understanding of that, what is it that that the president has not done for the past 5 to 7 years that you'd think that it warrants him to have another term? Because if you are going to have a president that is going to, like the same scenario that we had with Mugabe, that it has to take the army to step in, what makes it not possible that in the future years to come, this issue of the change of the constitution for the president is going to be a problem for the, maybe not for President Idi Mnangagwa, or maybe the next person that is going to come? They now have to change the constitution maybe to have 1 term for the president. Why are we still having the same problem that we had with President Robert Mugabe, of having him to stay for many years without him being removed? What is it that is pushing such? Because it seems like we are going back to what the First Republic had. What is the Second Republic has to offer in terms of change? Because right now, I just feel like we are still going back to what the problem that we had pre-2017.
You are right to say that we don't need to go back to what called the Operation Restore Legacy. And I believe, and it is my hope and wish, that we do not go back. And I'm confident that the president, like he has said in his own words, is a constitutionalist, and he will abide by the terms that are in the constitution. And with those words, I believe that we should not, at this juncture, not worry, because the president himself has assured the people on 3 different fora that he will stick by what is in the constitution. He even went on to say that he knows the day that he will leave the office to go and rest, and he has not changed from there. The argument at the moment, I think, which I think is the one from which we derive most of these questions, is why are people in the party talking about it? I think this is the major question. And it is their right. It is their right to talk of anything. They can talk of anything in the party. There could be others who are talking about the president leaving, but they have not been heard as much as those who are saying the president can stay longer. So it is the discussion that is currently taking place in the party and outside the party which strengthens our democracy in the country.
But Mr. Mandaza, just to get your point here, the same thing has happened to President Robert Mugabe. He said, "It's the people that want me," and he stayed longer. We also have in Uganda, we've got Mr. Yoweri Museveni. He keeps on saying, "It's the people that want me." So we know this rhetoric when it is being said. Are you saying at all the president is not interested in extending his term?
I cannot say anything that is different from what I've heard from him, and we cannot make any other conclusions that he has not made himself. What we have heard from him is that he's a constitutionalist. He is not going to have the term of office extended by a day longer than the day that he knows he's going to leave. And what has happened in the past and what is happening elsewhere, I think is happening there because of the circumstances obtaining in their various constituencies and jurisdictions. And you see, there are other arguments. We have had people arguing and saying, yes, we can go the route of changing the constitution because in America they are also looking at that. Those are arguments and discussions that are taking place. The others make those discussions in order to justify a particular position, and these discussions are good in order to strengthen our democracy. We need all of us to, if there are people who are saying we do not need the constitution to be changed, they should be vocal. They should come up with their positions so that they can also inform the ultimate decision that is going to be made. It should not be a focus on those who are making their particular position or known to the majority of the people. Those who are against this particular issue, they should also be vocal and make their position very clear and unequivocal, rather than focusing on what these others are doing. And if these who are saying the president should not stay a day longer than the 2 terms, if they are quiet and they are not talking about it and proffering their reasons and so on, then at the end of the day, if this particular proposition goes ahead, it is because the people would have campaigned strongly for the extension of the term of office.
All right. As we conclude, Mr. Mandas, I will have to let you go, but your principal, who is the spokesperson of ZANU PF currently, Mr. Chris Mchangwa, said that they want to make the president a lame duck so that he does not finish his term well, which is, so the issue that is there is, he said, we don't want to talk about the issue of succession. But the one reason that the former president said, he was saying that he could not find a good successor. Isn't it time that the nation be abreast or being let known of the person who is going to take over from the president, so that they can acclimatize with the person? You know, just like what we have seen in other countries, like what we have seen with in Mozambique, we saw Daniel Chapo being prompted up by Mr. Filipe Nyusi. Why is it so difficult for now ZANU PF or the president to give us the new successor that is going to succeed the president? Because this issue of Mr. Chris Mchangwa saying we don't want to talk about this issue of succession, and at the same time we are having another discussion of we need to extend the term of office. Are we not saying the same rhetoric of saying we couldn't find a good successor, so that's why we're extending the term of office? Isn't it time that we have a discussion on the person who's going to take over from President Idi Mnangagwa?
The issue of succession in ZANU PF is guided by the ZANU PF constitution. After every 5 years, there is a congress that takes place, and it is in this congress that where a leader of the party emerges. And this leader who emerges during the congress is the one who then is endorsed to become the presidential candidate, as is written in the constitution. So the next Congress is going to be there. Congress is going to be there in 2027. And it is in 2027 that a new leader for the party, that a leader of the party will be chosen. And this leader of the party who will be chosen is the one who is going to run in the 2028 elections. And that is as per the ZANU PF constitution that we are currently using. And anything else that is happening at the moment is not will then be informed, or will also take into consideration that which will happen in 2027. Then there are those anyone in ZANU PF, as anyone in ZANU PF does not say if you are so and so, then you become the people, the provinces will nominate, and the person who gets, if I'm not mistaken, at least 5 the nominations will then go and contest at the conference. And this is what we at the Congress, and this is what we will be looking at in 2027. However, we should not have gone into the mode in which we are at the moment, because we are coming from an election and we still have a lot of issues that we need to address. And the president has a lot of issues that he also needs to address. So we have gone into this mode, which seeks to inform people of what will happen in 2027 too early. And one hopes that this will be solved and solved amicably, and ensure that the strength of the party is galvanized based on the democratic processes and debate that is currently taking place in the party.
All right. Let me tease you a little bit before I let you go. Do you want the president to continue until 2033, like what some of your comrades are saying? What is your position?
My position is informed by what the party does at the end of the day. I am a loyal and a principled member of the party who will subscribe to what happens at the end of the day, that which is agreed by the majority of the people.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mandaza. Any last words before I let you go?
My last word is that as Zimbabweans, let us not be sidetracked by trivial issues and make conclusions at times which are not informed by fact. What we have at the moment are discussions, and everyone else is entitled to make an input in the discussions that are currently going on, whether for or against the proposition that the party has come up with. And like what the president has said in wireless and pre-cab, the opposition should be strong enough to critique what happens in the party. And by doing so, we come up with better democratic processes and a stronger democracy in our own country.
All right. That was Mr. Kennedy Mapesa, there based in the UK, the former spokesperson for ZANU PF in South Africa, giving us his side of the story over what is happening inside the party. We've seen a lot of utterances that are telling, but he's saying, all is well, there is harmony in the cockpit. Mr. Mapesa, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your input on this wonderful day. Hopefully, we are going to be in conversation with you sooner than later when other developments have happened.
Thank you very much and keep well.
All right, thank you. All right, that was Mr. Kennedy Mapesa there. What do you make of this? Do you think that there is harmony inside ZANU PF? On that note, before we end this broadcast, there is an issue that we have posted on our social media, and I thought I needed to give you. There is a boy that is missing, a 17-year-old that you are seeing on the screen, Anonzi Ngoni Machipisa. He was last seen on Friday, 17th of January in Morewa. If anyone has any information about this young man, please inform the numbers that we've posted on our YouTube channel. Please go and check that out so that we can locate. Yesterday, there was another search, but they could not still find him. So please, if you have found or if you know any information that can lead to the location of this young man, Ngoni Machipisa, please contact the numbers that are there on the poster that we posted on our YouTube and on my Facebook page, Jethro Kenan Mutero, so that people can identify this young man, or you can even get in touch with me so that I can forward the information to the family. That will be also very, very, very great. On that note, I would like to say thank you. Let me just read some of your comments before I close. I can see Reggie the King here is saying that they will rig the vote for amending the constitution to extend the term. We all know so-called prophets said he's a life president on gold mafia investigation, which made them switch countries from UK to Zim. There's Jonathan Zwane. War vets have spoken. ED is using other people as front, pushing his agenda of the third term to life president. That's why he doesn't want a successor. Okay, that was some of your comments on this topic. We'll keep on having conversations. I've uploaded some of the videos that you are going to see in the morning on JCTV Africa or YouTube channel. Please go and check them out. With that, I would like to say thank you to my guest also who was with me, and thank you to everyone that participated on this broadcast. We'll see you on the next video.